I've been a first responder of one kind or another since I was 14 years old. Started out with an Explorer post where we were the county disaster response unit for civil defense. And for those of you that don't know the history of EMS, most of your state civil defense offices became the state EMS offices because they ran out of things to do for civil defense. Been first aider, Navy, firefighter, EMT, paramedic, public safety officer. I probably won all the hats, and I run a business where I teach trauma and combat casualty care around the world. As I told Suzanne earlier today, that business sort of went away with the pandemic because I couldn't fly anywhere. And in any event, somebody else is on the screen and I'm not, but that's okay. In any event, last February, a good friend of mine, Frank Kerr, introduced me to LifeWave. And I'm sort of the consummate skeptic. And I thought, okay, but because it was Frank, I said, all right, I'll try it. And in my EMS career, I'm with a federal disaster medical team still. I believe I am the oldest paramedic in Florida right now, and I'm renewing my license one more time. And the next time I have to renew it, I'll be 81, and I may give it some serious consideration as to maybe that's the time to hang it up. In any event, I've done lots of hurricanes. I just deployed to Fort Myers for doing critical incident stress management for first responders. Frank pointed out when we chatted recently that I also did Ground Zero in September and October of 2001. I have no idea what's going to come as a result of that because we've lost a lot of our teammates already. Anyhow, so I put on the X-39 at the beginning of March. And as most folks that have been in EMS for far too long, cat on the screen, I've got back problems. And so I thought, okay, I'll give these things a try. 5 or 6 weeks into using the X-39 patch, we had a torrential downpour, and the 2 chairs out in my lanai that are normally under cover got really soaked. So the rain finally stopped, and I said, okay, let me get them out in the sun. So I went outside and I put them in the sun, put the first chair in the sun, walked back around the pool, picked up the other chair, took it around the pool, put it down, walked back in the house and said, I won't say exactly what I said, but I thought, holy cow, my back doesn't hurt. So I was beginning to see some results. I've got very little left between the 4th and 5th lumbar vertebrae. It's a typical Furno 30 injury. If any of you have ever been involved in ambulance stuff, the Furno 30 was the early litter used in a lot of ambulances. And the only way you got anybody into the ambulances was by brute force. And most any of us that have been in EMS since its beginning, which I have, you've got chronic back problems. So I still have pain. I get therapy on my back, but remarkably, it is nowhere near as debilitating as it ever was before. And as I told Suzanne, I've had 2 heart attacks, and I've got what's called BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia. I got my PSA done recently. I'm going to be fascinated to see what happened with my PSA between the last time I had it done and this time, because that is going to be sort of the proof will be in the pudding as far as I'm concerned.